Welcome to the Total Health Podcast, where we embrace the art of holistic wellness and midlife transformation. I'm your host, Charisse Marie, here to guide you through this enriching journey towards overall well-being. Remember, your journey towards total health is uniquely yours. Together, let's cultivate wellness, one episode at a time.
Hello, everybody. I'm so glad to be back here. Welcome to Stop Healing and Start Creating 5 Keys to Nervous System Freedom and Deep Inner Clarity. I want to just take a quick second and express some amazing gratitude for the hosts and the visionaries who created this space, and most importantly, to you for being here with me today. It is an honor to stand in a room devoted to something so essential, so urgent, and so human: total health. So what does total health really mean? It includes the body, yes, and it also the mind and the heart and the spirit and all of the energy that moves through all of it. Total health is that grounded moment where your mind feels clear and focused, your body feels safe and supported, and your spirit is steady in its purpose. It is the breath that fills you with possibility. It is the moment you feel like yourself 100% of the time. That's the energy that I want to bring you today. My name is Cory Thorell. And if you've ever felt like I have done the journaling, the meditations, the clearing, the courses, the work, so why does this still feel heavy? Then this is for you today. Because when we stay in the energy of survival, creation feels far away. And here's what I've learned. You're either reacting or creating, but you can only do one or the other. Cannot do both at the same time. And so that's why today's talk is called Stop Healing, Start Creating 5 Keys to Nervous System Freedom and Deep Inner Clarity. So I want to be clear. Healing is not something that we finish. It is a way of being. Healing is a lens that we choose to see the world through. It is a path we walk with each breath that we take, not because we're broken, but because we're learning how to build something new. Today's talk is not about adding more pressure to heal, pressure to fix, pressure to solve. This is more of an invitation to shift your state, to be in the healing state, so you feel safe enough to create. Because that's when the magic happens. So as we begin together, let's just all, if we can, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just breathe a little bit. Breathe a little deeper than usual, a little bit bigger than usual. Fill up your lungs a little further than usual. Maybe push that air out all the way out. And the stale air that's been in there a little too long can come out, and new air can come in, out. Ground with Mother Earth. The gravity underneath us, the hug that never stops from Mother Earth, and our connection to that, to source, to creation, to universe above us, swirling in our body. And now just take a second. Those of you who might know Hakalau, or the learning state, with your face forward, look up with your eyes to the ceiling. Keep your face forward, but look up. And when we look up, this activates our nervous system into the learning state, looking up. Find that spot or non-spot on the ceiling. Breathe a little bit and just feel every cell in your body calm down. Feel your mind opening and feel your connection to Earth. Welcome to the learning state. So let's begin. These 5 keys to the nervous system, to nervous system freedom, to this inner clarity that I'm talking about. These 5 keys are keys that I use in my practice with my clients. They are a learning tool, and each one of these learning tools has a couple of steps, a couple of things that you can do right here and right now, or maybe today, or maybe tomorrow, to move forward. So as we do this together, we're going to talk about all 5 steps. Key 1, I want you to stop healing and start creating. What does that mean? Stop healing. Of course, I'm not saying don't do your healing, but healing as an identity, right? Healing as something you never stop. Oh my gosh, I'm broken. This is a new way to look at this. So I already know something about you. I know that you have done the work. You've journaled until your pen ran dry. You've meditated, you've visualized, you've done some tapping, aligned, you've done some modalities, you've done some work with others, you've saged your apartment, and you've become clear on what you no longer want. So why does all of this feel like a heavy grind or pushing that boulder up the hill? Why do you still wake up some days feeling like you're already behind before your feet even hit the floor? That's because you've been trying to create from a body still stuck in survival mode. We're all doing this right now. The world is in a state of ridiculous reaction, and we were all taught how to do this by the masters, and we all do it well. You're building a dream on the same foundation that your fear was built on. Let me say that again. We're all building dreams on the same foundation that our fears were built on. So this is about healing from a new way. This is not about one more healing tool. This is about something deeper. It's about reclaiming that part of you that knows how to build, how to create, how to imagine from a place of power, from ease, from the truth deep inside you, not from a place of panic or pressure or performance, about getting the job done. This is about realizing that healing was never the goal, but living was the goal. Healing versus living. So when I chose the title, Stop Healing, I want to go there. Let's go there for a moment. When I say stop healing, I don't mean stop feeling. I don't mean stop doing the work. I don't mean stop caring. What I mean is stop making healing your personality, your identity, an endless effort that never stops. Stop turning it into your forever project. Stop waiting for the day when you'll finally be cleared enough to live. Because healing is not a destination that you arrive at. Healing is not a diploma that you earn. It's not a mountaintop where enlightenment hands you a smoothie and says, "Congrats, you made it." Healing is a lens. It is a new prescription that we see through, a new focus. It is a way of seeing. It's what you do when you choose to stay present in the present moment. In the trigger of a mess, in the trigger of the world, in the tight chest and the sweaty palms, and respond from a power instead of a panic. All of the world's going to continue to happen, but when we stay in a healing state, we come from power, not panic. It's not about fixing who you are, because you're not broken. It's about partnering with who you already are. You don't graduate from your nervous system, you befriend it. So you listen to it differently. So the same stories don't run your life in the same loop forever. You don't need one more insight before you're ready. You don't need to wait until you're more regulated or more aligned, until Mercury is in a better mood. No, you're not broken. You're just busy surviving. And that is something that we get to shift. You can shift. Because here's what you get to know now. Real healing happens in motion, in the creating, in the becoming. In the moment you say, I've spent enough time on the treadmill of healing, now I build, now I create, now I imagine. I trust my intuition, I step into creativity, and this is what fills our well. So take a few moments to notice, how alive are you right now? Where do you feel alive right now? Your heart is beating and you're breathing. No matter where you are on the good health scale, if you are alive, you are at least 80% well. Notice how well you are right now. Notice where you are good, where you are calm and ready, compared to the story that you have been telling 1,000 times today. What's wrong? What's broken? What needs to be fixed? I want you to write this down. Do some noticing. Start asking, where am I well? How well am I? Where am I alive? What about my vitality? Vital. What does it mean to be alive? When you go to the hospital, they take your vitals. What about your own vitals? That we do not measure does not change. So I'm asking you in this switchcraft moment to start noticing how alive you are right now as opposed to how unwell you might be. Now let's move to the second key. The 3 pillars to the nervous system sovereignty: mind, body, spirit. This is where we stop reacting and we start creating. This is more than a mantra. This is a neurological reality. Most people are walking through life trying to manifest miracles while their nervous system is still in survival mode. That's why we use the 3-pillar framework to speak directly to all 3 parts of your internal guidance system: mind, body, and spirit. Or another way to say that, you're conscious, you're unconscious, and you're superconscious. So let's break these down a little bit. The mind, this is the realm of your consciousness. This is the part of you that's awake and explaining. It is the realm of loops and logic and language. It is the stories that we tell to make sense of the ache, but they're not the cause of the ache. This is the presenting problem, the symptom. Our mind understands the original discomfort. The presenting problem is never the problem. It is a symptom dressed as a story. We'll talk more about that in a minute. In the story, in the mind, this is where most self-help stops. You journal, affirm, reframe, you try to think differently, you do your affirmations, and for a moment it helps, but those deep patterns creep back in, and that story retells, reshapes itself, and it's there again, back oscillating in the loop. Why? Because the mind isn't the root cause, it's the narrator. And right now, it's using the RAS, your reticular activating system, a major part of your nervous system, to confirm a painful script. Okay, cool. We know that's what it's doing. Your RAS is filtering the world based on what you've emotionally rehearsed 1,000 times today already. Fear, disappointment, disconnection, protection, danger. It finds more. And we live in a world that is dangerous, uncertain. And so all of us are reacting in a big way right now. But if we give it a new focus, your reticular activating system, it will work just as masterfully in a different direction. Our brains are processing around 11 million bits of information a second. But your reticular activating system is the filter that allows around 50 bits into your consciousness. And it deletes, distorts, and generalizes all of that, 11 million bits into what actually has your attention. And mostly we are in a state of protection, therefore, looking for danger, and we find it. But the good news is you can fuel your reticular activating system, your RAS, with chosen content. Now, I want to give you an example. Think about a time when you wanted that new car, that car you love, that brand, that make, the color, the style, and then suddenly you saw it everywhere. Oh, there's one and there's one. The neighbor has one. It comes in blue, it comes in brown, and it has different kinds of interior. Wow, all of a sudden they're everywhere. And that's not magic. That is your RAS aligning with your focus. That's your nervous system allowing information into your focus. And so we've all trained it to find fear, to protect us. And that goes back to the caveman era when we were literally being chased by a saber-toothed tiger. But now in this modern age, we get to train it to find our freedom. Now think about that for a second. What if you could train your nervous system to look for your solutions, your connections, the evidence of your desired life? The goodness of your dreams, your solutions. How good can you make your life? How good can you dream about it? And we can dream about it, but most of us are stuck in a trained belief about what we can or cannot have or achieve. And these are the stories of the mind, the conscious awareness of our experience, which creates the ideas and beliefs of who we think we are, our identities. And no matter who you think you are right. But you can change that. Identities, they shape our values, and our values create our beliefs, which set our behaviors in motion. And so I want to talk a little bit about the 8 sabotaging identities. This is part of the mind. This is part of the stories that we tell. The sabotaging identities are the tools we use to understand why we suffer, why we don't have what we have. We use the tool of comparison and why is the grass always greener? But these identities are adaptive protections, not personality traits. They're the mind's best attempt to explain emotions that were never fully expressed. Emotions are the language of the body. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But here, these 8 sabotaging identities, here they are. They are raw. They are human, and they are familiar. And there is no immunity to these identities. We all do this. Every single one of us understands these. I think we can all find a time when we felt these identities deeply within us. We have felt broken, and we were taught to fix ourselves first before we could ever have what we deep down desired, the yeah, but syndrome. We all are members of the Scar clan. Oh, my wound hurts and I'm not quite hurting. Let me dig it up a little bit more because of these identities. So I'm going to list these for you. And I want you to remember a time when you felt like, I don't belong. I don't belong. You walk into a room preparing to shrink before anyone says a word. I don't belong is the first sabotaging identity. The second one, remember a time when you felt, I am not significant. I am not special. You speak with disclaimers or not at all because maybe no one's listening. The third one, remember a time when you felt, I am not capable. You're always at capacity, full. You're juggling so much that even rest feels impossible. There's no room for more. The fourth one, remember a time when you felt, I'm not worthy. You're overextended. You're saying yes to everything, and secretly you feel like you're the last priority. Everything comes first, except you. The fifth one, remember a time when you felt, I am not good enough. You finish a big win or a big project, and instantly you move the goalpost. Never good enough. Other people's rules. That feels terrible in us. That's one of mine, I have to say. That's one of mine. Sixth, remember a time when you felt, I am not perfect. Must be perfect first. You start a million things, but you don't finish because if it's not perfect, it's not safe. And number 7, remember a time when I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. Other people's expectations, other people's rules, never hitting the mark. You downplay every win before anyone else can take it from you. And lastly, number 8, because of 1 through 7, I am not safe. I'm not safe. I'm in protection mode. I'm in reaction mode. I can't create because I am busy protecting myself 100% of the time. You double check every decision, never fully trusting that life won't just pull the rug out from underneath you. But I have some good news. All 8 of those sabotaging identities, I don't belong, I'm insignificant, I'm not capable, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not perfect, I don't deserve it, therefore I am not safe. All of them are 100% not true. From the highest version of you, the super conscious, the soul, the spirit point of view, that healed point of view. Of course you belong. Of course you're significant. Of course you're capable. Of course you're worthy. Of course you're good enough. Of course you're perfect. Of course you deserve it. And you are safe. That part of your unconscious has been waiting to hear this. You are safe. These identities are not the truth of who you are. They're echoes, emotional leftovers. They are the tool that your mind uses to justify why you do not have something you desire. I must be broken. Therefore, I must fix myself. How am I broken? I must not deserve it. This is a system, a pattern that we get to break. These are protective strategies built on old moments that luckily no longer apply. You are not broken. You're patterned, and patterns can be rewritten. This is why so many of us live in a state of constant oscillation, in the loop, constantly in the loop. We try to change, we stumble, we blame the story, we fail, and we try again, over and over. Try fail, try burnout, try doubt. It feels unbreakable because the mind cannot do this alone. To shift this cycle, we must stop isolating in the symptom and start balancing the energy of all three pillars: mind, body, and spirit. When all three are working together, that's when true creation begins. So what are the old stories that you've been defending 1,000 times a day? What are the reasons why you do not have the things that you want? Are they rooted in these sabotaging identities? And what are the stories of your future? What are the stories of your solutions? And how good can you dress and decorate those stories? If you're too practiced at talking about what's broken, you've probably got dream work to do. And that dream work is practicing talking about your solutions in amazingly vivid detail, even more vivid than the stories of your suffering. You've got dream work to do. So your assignment is to make a list of 100 things that you absolutely adore. Just liking it is not good enough, does not make the list. They have to jump in your soul, goosebumps and butterflies at the same time. This will become the list, the menu from which you will design your life. So go for it. Write it down. Vibrate with it and really give it your all. The first 10, okay, cool. I love these things. 20 to 30, do a little deeper dig. Reach into your heart and soul. How good is it? What magical things are happening in life right now? How good is life on earth? And make it to 100. That list should vibrate on the counter because you love it so much. Yeah, have fun with that one. Now, let's move to the body. The body is the root cause healing of the root cause. Now, this is the realm of the unconscious mind. This is the realm beneath the story of the mind, the place where language dissolves and sensation guides. Here lives the unconscious mind, the body's silent intelligence. It expresses through tension and tightness and patterns and pain and emotions, all signals meant to be honored, not feared. It speaks in the language of emotions and sensations, not words. And this is where your deepest imprints live. The body holds the experiences the mind tried to explain and the spirit longed to release. You might feel that lump in your throat every time you try to speak. You might feel that pit in your stomach before doing something bold, that tightness in your chest when you say yes, but you really mean no. This is communication within you. This is wisdom already inside you. This is the body saying, I remember, help me feel safe again. We are learning to listen, to speak the body's language, to trust the biochemical intelligence that we've spent years overriding. Most of us were never taught how to do this. Most of us were taught to ignore it. And so we push through discomfort, we override exhaustion, but we call it strength, even though it's exhausting. But here's the signal that changes everything. Are you building a dream on an unhealed wound? The story of your mind reaching out for goals but never quite making it because of a deep-seated belief of I don't deserve it, I'm not good enough, I'm not capable. And these are the energies of the unhealed wounds trapped in our body. Because no matter how clear the vision of your dream, we can only create when we feel safe. And if we don't feel safe, we don't move forward. So this pillar is about recalibration, not resistance. It's about doing more. It's not about doing more things. It's about feeling deeper, listening deeper, and releasing what no longer serves you, that energy, that trapped energy, tension, inflammation in your body, what the body still carries. Now, this is where we can use some modalities and some things like specialized kinesiology or emotional freedom technique, tapping, hypnotherapy, energy psychology, massage work. It's also about putting energy back in the earth, drumming and dancing and movement, but not for fixing, but for liberating. We're letting that energy out into the world, giving it back from where it came from. So we begin by asking, what is this sensation that I'm having in my body inviting me to hear? How is the sensations of my body, how are they knocking on my door and asking for my attention? And how can I listen deeper? What becomes possible when I no longer carry this energy alone? You are already wise. Your body has never been the obstacle. It is the doorway. You are not failing. You're simply speaking words into a system that understands electricity, breath, and rhythm. And now it's learning to respond. The energy of your body. Learning to communicate between the mind and the body. This is where some amazing balance and real healing starts to happen. This is healing the root cause of some of those things that have been keeping you stuck. And when we heal at the root level, the original wounding, the original trauma, the original deep hurted pain, well, then we move into the realm of spirit, which is the realm of prevention. It is also the realm of life design and superconscious evolution. In the realm of spirit, the energy of balancing spirit, this is the daydreamer, the artist, the architect of what comes next. And we live in a world that taught us not to daydream, but what could possibly be more important than dreaming about your future? We manifest what we think about. So this spirit, this is the realm of the superconscious mind, the space where creativity, intuition, and imagination live. This is not a fantasy. It is design, and you're already using it. Every time you daydream, every time your body pulls you towards something more beautiful, more peaceful, more true, this is the spirit guiding you forward. But we can't access this when we are locked in reaction, in fear mode. We shut down because we can either react or create, but never both at the same time. And most of us, we've been stuck in reaction. And right now in the world is on fire in reaction. And so we are being called as visionaries and creatives to rise above because we can either react or create, but never both at the same time. Most of us have been in these endless loops, unhealed emotional echoes, and nervous systems on high alert. We have been normalizing the abnormal as a daily way of being most of the time. We are focused more powerfully on what we are running away from than what we're running toward because we have not done our dream work. So it's easy to get into anxiety and overwhelm because we don't have hope or solutions or a clear path. Our sacred dreams of tomorrow get pushed further away because today is too hard and tomorrow never happens. So even our dreaming becomes distorted, flavored with survival, colored by fear. I don't get to until I heal first. So we start asking, what's even possible right now? What's even realistic because I hurt so much today? What's practical in my current situation? What is safe? But spirit doesn't speak in limits. It speaks in possibility. It whispers, what if and how can we? It nudges you toward the version of you that already exists, calm, grounded, and bold, and free. This pillar, the pillar of spirit, is about prevention and life design. It is the practice of choosing how you want to feel and designing a life that matches the choice of how you want to feel, the emotion of the end result. It is the art of no longer waiting to deserve a dream, but letting yourself move toward it now because it's already calling you. It is already within you. Your inner child remembers a time when dreaming was endless and effortless. We are our best medicine. You already have everything you need inside of you. And so in this realm of spirit, we start doing some work with superconscious recoding our mind and spirit, doing this energy work of balancing the three mind, body, and spirits. This is about dream intending to dream well, doing your dream work of the future. The definition of anxiety, expending all of your resources on an undesired outcome. What is the opposite of that? Inspiration, refilling your well. How do we do that? We spend our resources on a desired outcome. We daydream about the future, about how good we can make it. And when we do that, we ignite our fires within. The sacred work of ho'oponopono, being thankful, I'm sorry, I love you, forgive me, to restore harmony, to align you with your vision and clear the static between you and your next inspired steps. So where do we find that inspired motivation? It comes from that list of 100 things. It comes from saying a radical yes in a world that is saying no. So let's not forget, your nervous system can't move toward a future that it has been trained to fear. So your spirit steps in and it offers another way. No more hustle, not more healing, but it is the soft, steady power of remembering that you are the creator. 100% of the time, you always have been. You created the world that you're in, therefore you can create the world you're moving to next. And the world is reacting, but you get to create. And when all three pillars are balanced, the mind quiets, the body opens, and the spirit begins to lead. Now, that was a lot. That was our biggest key. Now let's move to key 3. You are not your pattern. You are not broken. You are a nervous system doing its job, and its job is to protect you. That overthinking, that procrastination, that why do I always sabotage when things are working out? It's not a flaw. It is a flag. It is a warning signal. It is a signal that your system doesn't yet feel safe enough to move forward. So these sabotaging identities that I mentioned earlier, they're not because they are who you are, but because they are the masks your nervous system learned to wear. And the good news, they're learned, which means what is learned can be unlearned. What is armored can be softened. And what is patterned can be repatterned. Your pattern is not your prison. It is your portal. But here's the trap most people fall into. They try to fix the pattern with the same part of the mind that created it. They journal, analyze, overprocess. They try to logic their way to freedom, but logic does not unlock the cage. Safety does. So this is where we stop reacting and start creating. So what does that look like in practice? Taking your power back. This is a wonderful idea, but how do we do that? I love to name patterns when they show up without making them wrong. Just, I see you. I see you struggle. I see resistance. I see procrastination. I see failing. I see perfectionism. And I know that you're trying to keep me safe, but there is a new way to be safe. This is the difference between trick questions and lofty questions. What are trick questions? Trick questions shift from self-attack. They are about self-attack. What's wrong with me? Why am I broken? How am I broken? Why can't I? When we ask trick questions, which are built in negativity and limitation, our subconscious mind and spirit answers those questions, which feels like proof, right? What's wrong with me? And then we turn it around into a lofty question, which is loaded in intuition, creativity, and spirit and possibility. Where am I already moving forward? Instead of why can't I, we turn it into how can I? What if this resistance is a request for more safety? What would it feel like to trust all parts of myself in this moment? I see people that have things that I desire, and instead of making myself wrong, why don't I? Why can't I? Why am I not good enough? Lofty question. How can I sit at the feet of the masters and learn from them? Hang out with the people who are doing what you want to do. One of the ways that I love to do this is activate what I call the wonder, wander, and ponder spirit. This is the wonder mind. You're going to wander around in your mind, engage curiosity instead of criticism. And then when we're wandering in our mind, then we wander in our body. We move, we stretch, we shake, we dance. We give that trapped energy and patterns somewhere to go. And when we're wondering and then wandering around and then we ponder spirit, whoa, that felt amazing. What else is possible? We let stillness be your teacher. We ask and not demand. We trust the space in between the answers. So wonder, wander, ponder, mind, body, spirit, small things, pequeño milagros, baby miracles that we can move with every step of the day. These micro movements that create macro shifts. So choose one small action that supports the creative you, not the scared you. That text you've been avoiding, that email you keep drafting and deleting, that breath that you keep forgetting to take. Empower it. Creation happens when you start walking, even if your knees are shaking. Catching these patterns, pattern pause practices, the work of noticing. When you're in a pattern, an old belief, an old emotion, switchcraft moment, I caught myself. Stop, pause, notice, and name it. That we do not pay attention to does not change. Tame it, name it to tame it. These are techniques that we can use. What we observe always changes. These are somatic check-ins. Where is this living in my body? Is it moving? What is its texture? And what is the gift that it is asking me to understand? Everything always knocks on the door with a gift. So remember this, your mind wants movement. Your body wants safety. Your spirit wants meaning. And creation happens when all three agree. And when they do, you stop repeating the past and you start designing a future that you live in. Key 4. These next ones are going to be a little shorter. I know we're moving fast. Let's be real. From trauma response to soul expression. Most of us have a normalized trauma expression or a response in us all the time, every day, a full-time human experience. A lot of what we call success is often polished adaptation of other people's expectations, crafted from the parts of us that learn to survive. The high performer who pushes endlessly. They discovered that movement created a sense of safety. The caretaker who anticipates everyone's needs, and they learned to listen deeply, perhaps at the cost of not hearing themselves. The entrepreneur who pivots endlessly and constantly, they become masters of reinvention, but they long to trust their vision all the way through. We've built lives and careers and relationships from brilliance born in pressure. And when that brilliance serves only survival, even the dream can feel like a demand. And that's not your soul at the wheel. That's your nervous system gripping the wheel tightly, hoping that the next version will bring relief. So soul expression, what does that feel like? When we come from our heart and our soul, it arrives without needing to be earned. It lands softly within us with ease and calm, with unmistakable sense of this is mine. This is really mine. This energy flows from a deeper rhythm, one that already lives within you. Soul expression, who you really are, your true nature, your purpose. Your soul expression doesn't require noise to feel real. It hums. It resonates on its own. It lives in your spine and behind your ribs. This is the moment where action flows from patience instead of pressure. It's choosing rather than chasing. It's participating rather than performing, feeling spacious instead of braced. And here's the shift. From questions shaped by survival, like, what keeps me safe from pain? How do I earn my place here? What protects me from being wrong? To invitations sourced from the soul, like, What wants to move through me right now? What choices feel honest and alive in my body today? And what if I fully trusted that I belong in this moment? Feel that energy shift. This is the breath your system has been waiting for. This is where the mind softens and the body relaxes. This is where the heart finally gets a seat at the table and a voice welcomed in your own story. And in this space, creation begins again, not from urgency, but from clarity, from your dream work, from resonance, and from wholeness. Some of these tools are embodied release, like we've talked about before, letting the body guide your narrative. How do I feel in this moment? Through sound baths, movement, and stillness. The tools like creative flow, doodling, drumming, dancing, dreaming, freeform writing, express without editing, being the freedom to be messy. Once again, lofty questions, the how can I questions, what's possible for me questions. These are narrative rewrites of your story, which create a new sense of energy in your body, which installs your imagination, your intuition, and your creativity, which is the language of your spirit. When your actions serve the part of you that's listening deeply, life begins to feel like alignment inside and out. This is soul expression. All three energies, mind, body, spirit, coming together to create as one. This is where your creations begin to feel like home. Now, here we are on the last key, key 5. Your body knows the way. The most powerful guidance system you have, it's been with you since your first breath. That is your body. The body that they told you to fix. The one you may have been taught to override, to hustle past, or to numb out. The body that feels, the one that remembers, the one that's always worked to protect you. Safety begins with relationship. True safety, the kind that allows you to create, to explore and expand, to daydream gigantically about your future, comes from relationship, from connection, from presence. You already carry the intelligence to move forward. You already carry the signals. You already carry the wisdom, the breath that shortens when misalignment rises, the shoulders that tense when your boundaries feel thin, the flutter in your gut when something shifts, the shivers in your spine when your soul says yes. Some of us never learned to hear this language. Many of us were taught to turn away from it, and yet the signal is always there. The path is not about analyzing symptoms. This is about reclaiming relationship and communication with your body, your breath, one cue, one moment, one awareness at a time. Creation begins with safety. Your body thrives in safety. And when it feels secure, creation flows. Imagination is limitless. We touch our intuition and the infinite records, the field of knowledge, the Akashic records. The nervous system begins to shift from survival to expansion, from protection to expression, from tension to ease. This is why the deeper work starts with trust. Trust in your body's blueprint. Trust in its pace. Trust in the messages it offers you through sensations and signal. How are you feeling right now? What emotions is it triggering? What story is it telling? And some of these practices that bring it home are be in dialogue with your body, asking your body to communicate with you, asking how it communicates with you. What do you want me to know right now? What does this pain mean? Or what does the itch ask me to pay attention to? Why am I all of a sudden tense or laughing? What is the message? How is your body ringing your doorbell? And how do you answer the door? We breathe. We listen with patience and compassion. We want to name and claim those moments of felt safety. Sip something warm. Feel your bare feet on the earth. Notice your breath moving and how it feels throughout your body. What is the temperature of the breath as it goes in? And what is the temperature of the breath as it comes out? Engaging in your somatic anchors, a hand on your heart and your belly at the same time. Installing positive anchors like a piece of jewelry to remind you how good life is when you forget. Using hakalau, like we did at the beginning, accessing the learning state, grounding with Mother Earth, taking a pause, choosing to calm, and opening your creativity. Let your breath move your spine like a wave. Your body is the way, and every message it sends is guidance. Every signal is sacred. Every sensation is a conversation. Your body opens the path forward. It carries your rhythm, your timing, your truth, and it welcomes you back to your wholeness. And this is where your system whispers, I am finally ready. And the most important thing that you can do for yourself right now is to love yourself first, put yourself first, and to love yourself gigantically. So these are the 5 pillars of nervous system reset, nervous system sovereignty, coming back to your body, which is a tool to understand the 3 pillars of mind and body and spirit. And if you're liking some of the things that I'm talking about today, and you're resonating with some of this medicine, I invite you to book a call with me, a free call. That first call with me, this is a focused session where we will gently explore what's been showing up in your mind. I mean, perhaps it's resistance or patterns or that stuck feeling that keeps circling back. And in this call with me, you don't need to prepare for anything. You get to simply arrive exactly as you are. And we'll work together on the level of mind where the stories are loud and the shift begins. And you can schedule a call with me in the link right here. But also, if that's a bit much or a little bit too much, you are also warmly invited to join my weekly free group call, the Superconscious Tune-Up. Now, this is a free call every Wednesday from 3 to 4 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. It is a live Zoom room, real time, real energy, real people, where you can experience my work firsthand of mind, body, and spirit. You can connect with a like-hearted community who are putting themselves first in this way. And you get to breathe, drop in, and remember who you are without the noise, because nobody thrives alone. And the next version of you is waiting to be witnessed. And so I ask you, I invite you to book your free call with me. I would love to spend an hour with you and to save your seat for the next Superconscious Tune-Up every week on Wednesday. You are more than welcome. So both are here for you, because this season of your life begins with one simple, non-negotiable act of self-love, and that is you choosing you. Self-love is your number one non-negotiable daily act. So here we are, wrapping up my talk for today. I want to thank the Total Health Forum for having me here. It is always a pleasure to be in this circle and to be in front of you. I send all of you my very best. And once again, I am Cory Thorell, a self-mastery and high-performance coach. Here's to you, to your journey in making the rest of life the best of life. Be well. Cheers.
I'm Charisse Marie, and it's been a privilege to explore the vibrant world of holistic health and overall well-being with you today. We love hearing from our listeners, so don't hesitate to reach out and be part of our growing community focused on holistic living. Until next time, keep nurturing your mind, body, and soul. And remember, you have the power to create a life of total health and lasting happiness. Together, let's continue this journey towards holistic well-being. Take care, stay inspired, and as always, live fully.